My enemy's enemy is my enemy's enemy. Is not my friend. Sin is Wike's enemy. It doesn't make him my friend. It might be the whip by which Wike's ass is being cleaned in this time, but he is no different from Wike. When they're done fighting, they're coming for you. The entirety of the fight is to determine how to share the loot. You are the prize. They're not fighting over anything other than how to control your commonwealth. The entirety of the fight is about how to undermine your future, how to mortgage your future, how to sell your children and your children's children into slavery. It's about control. The control of the common purse, which had never been superintended for your purpose. They have the same purpose. They were doing it together. You can't be picking side with armed robbers who are quarreling over how to divide the spoils of your home. Pick your own side. Stop picking sides with those squabbling over how to destroy your lives. Pick your own side. What are your own enlightened selfish interests? Focus on them. Let those be the things that determines who you're supporting. What will this person do to the educational policies of the state? What will this person do to healthcare? What would this victory mean for security? What's your own side? Why are you supporting one or the other? These are the critical questions you need to start asking of yourself before donating your brain in a squabble amongst thieves. Criticizing Tinubu's government, she's gaining traction for exposing the idiocy of the Nigerian people who do not understand that their primary duty in this situation is to speak to the truth of what the girl has said, not to be siding with our oppressor who are also their own oppressors. You talk about Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome has nothing on the Lagos or Nigerian Syndrome. This is one place where the oppressed constantly fight against those speaking to the truth of their oppression or looking to free them from their servitude. So me, I don't know what the girl has done that they are all shouting and braying like maddened donkeys and rabid dogs. As far as I'm concerned, the young woman spoke to the truth of her reality, and they had better get used to it. And I dare you, Nigerian youth, speak your own truth and post it. If it is only Raye, they will be chasing her up and down the place. We should probably even have a day where everybody speaks to their experiences and post it online, and then let's see how many people they are going to go and arrest. Look, this is not about Raye. It's about allowing an atmosphere of fear where people are afraid to express their pains. How do you beat a child and then demand that the child should not cry? How? So Raye is not about Raye, it's about us as a collective. If you have found the capacity to criticize that girl for saying what you know to be the truth, you might quarrel with her language. And I know a lot of people quarrel with my own language as well. But it is not my duty to speak in a language that is pleasant to my oppressor. My oppressor can go do one just because he doesn't like my language. I hope he doesn't like it. When I speak in terms that are provocative, it is deliberate. I want the person who is oppressing me, limiting my capacities in my country, to be angry by my capacity to also speak to the fact of my situation. So if the girl has spoken in a manner that they don't like, let them address the truth of what she has said. To be all these farcical gyrations, she abused the president. How did she? He's a terrible president. Is that a lie? How much more terrible does the president have to be before we say he's terrible? He is terrible. The quality of life has been eroded for everybody, from the lowest to the highest. The only people who are having anything good in Nigeria today are essentially people who have been offered one toll gate or the other from which to be feeding fat on the Nigerian people, or they have direct access to the public purse. So if a youth copper who is feeling the pinch of life in Lagos speaks to that fact, how does that become an offense? We have become... The painful thing is that what is important is abandoned, ignored, and then we are chasing shadows. You don't like the way the girl said the truth that she has said.
Many Nigerians actually admire your courage, but fear government retaliation, as they're saying.
Fear.
What will you say to young Nigerians who want to fight injustice, but are afraid, sir?
See, the first thing you do if you want to fight injustice, speak. What Raye has done is to speak. You might not like the way she has spoken her truth. Speak it the way you feel it should be spoken. But do not take away a person's capacity to speak to the fact of their reality. Yorubas will say that the inability to speak to your pains is the beginning of your ruination. The girl spoke to her reality. If more Nigerians will speak to their reality, maybe they will be so uncomfortable they might even begin to do the right things.
Finally, sir, if you had just one message to share with Nigerian people right now, what will it be?
If you gain nothing else before 2027, make sure you have the capacity to choose who rules you. Because these ones that you are not choosing, they are ruining you. Look at what they are doing in Rivers. He offers you an example. And the fact that Yakubu Mahmood is still in office is a slap on every Nigerian. That guy should be out of that place and we should be focused on electoral reform. That's the only thing I would love them to hear.
Mr. Dele Farotimi, thank you so much for the insightful.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you very much. So many times that I'm thankful for the opportunity to perhaps explain it so that the idiots who have continued to assume that I have broken my word would be clear. I said if he won the presidency, I'll leave Nigeria on exile. So let me clear that up. For him to have won, the people would have had to have voted for him. We didn't vote for him. He stole the presidency. Yakubu and INEC sold him the presidency. The presidency is not an expression of the people's will. It is an expression of the debauchery of INEC and the height of our judicial corruption. He did not win the presidency. If I had left, I would have been sanitizing and deodorizing a skunk. If nothing else, I rise and fall by my word. And when I said that I will live on exile if this man won, it was so that people will know that I do not believe Nigerians to be depraved enough to be possessed of the idiocy to vote somebody like him into power. And they did not. Anybody who prefers to delude themselves can continue to delude themselves, but Tinubu knows, INEC knows, the judiciary knows, and so do a lot of Nigerians, that Tinubu did not win the presidency. He stole it. So I'm not leaving because he did not win. It's that simple. That I'm still here is in rebuke of him. It actually cost me a lot more to stay here. It's not just the multiple level of danger that I face on a daily basis by remaining in Nigeria. Because if they will be planning my murder 3 years ago when they were not in power, one of his goons in Lagos State was the one sat at the head of the plot to kill me. They are the ones in power now. Ordinarily, I should run now. But I'm here. I am here because he did not win. He knows it. And every man and his dog in Lagos State knows it. He was beaten resoundingly in Lagos on the 25th of February. He couldn't even make 15% in Lagos. Segun Agbaje, the INEC commissioner in Lagos State, cannot produce the form EC8A for Lagos State up till today. I was the person who was charged by the Obi legal team to collect the election material from INEC. He could not, up until today, INEC in Lagos State cannot give us the form EC8A, which is the polling unit level result. because they know he lost. He lost woefully. He was thoroughly rejected across the length and breadth of the state that he has held hostage for 24 years. As at that time, he lost. So how much more the other parts of Nigeria? Let them continue fooling themselves. He has snatched it, grabbed it, but he can't run with it. And that's why we are all in the mess that we are in today. So yeah, if he had won, if Nigerians had been foolish enough to have voted for him, I would have left. It wouldn't be because of him. It would be out of protest that I could be stuck with such evil people who would have found the grace to vote for somebody like him. But as I have said, they did not vote for him. They rejected him. He has forced himself on us. And we can't do much about that. But I'm not going to legitimize his stealing by leaving. He didn't win.
What is facing Nigeria now? Nigeria is officially in a state of constitutional crisis. We're not realizing that yet.
What do you mean by that?
A certificate of return has been issued to a so-called president-elect unconstitutionally. There are therefore two meanings, two interpretations, and two understandings of the declaration made. One is that one by INEC. One is that one of the people. When I said of the people is whoever can read section 134 of the Constitution and take a position, then we are entitled to our own view of what crisis is facing Nigeria now. The certificate of return issued to Alhaji Tinubu is a dud certificate. It is one certificate that breaches the provisions of section 134. Therefore, the requirements to be declared as president-elect have not been met by Tinubu-Shetima ticket. The declaration, therefore, as it stands now, as far as the people of Nigeria who choose to adopt the literal, clear, interpreted meaning of Section 134 is concerned, there is really no president-elect. Section 134 stipulates who to be declared an issued certificate of return. It is only that candidate that has scored the highest number of votes and at least 25% in each in at least 2/3 of the states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory.
All right.
Remember, and now it is very clear, Tinubu does not have 25% in the FCT. We denied him. We got 61%. Atiku does not have 25% in the FCT. We denied both of them. By the clear, unambiguous provision of the Nigerian Constitution, which must not be breached, Tinubu has not satisfied the requirement to be declared president-elect. Accordingly, there is no president-elect for Nigeria now. I repeat, accordingly, there is no president-elect for Nigeria at the moment because the declared one violates the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I know what I'm saying. The Constitution is there in your presence, it's available, everybody is reading it as I speak. I'm not therefore behaving illegally or unconstitutionally. To the contrary, I am supporting constitutionality. It is in fact better for the powers that be to go and create additional 6% out of thin air and rig it back to Tinubu and therefore swear him in on 25% than to go ahead and take the risk of swearing in a so-called president-elect that has not met the constitutional requirement. This document you read is not a puzzle. It is in English. It is law. The law is not a game for politicians to play. This document is not available for Yakubu to interpret that day. It is there for him to follow. The English is very clear. These are fundamental provisions of the Constitution. They come already interpreted. You cannot take a gun, shoot somebody, and then ask the family to go and get interpretation that you only fired your weapon and then it killed him. No. This Constitution is more than abundantly clear. It says and. Show, you know the meaning of and. We know the meaning of and. That constitutional requirement has not been met. That certificate of return is null and void and cannot be sworn in as president. And let me tell you, the way they are going, disregarding the calls of the people, violating the Constitution, let them even go ahead, even if they swear in Tinubu Shetima on 29th of May. They are swearing in an unconstitutional government. Nothing will change it. I am not a careless, reckless speaker. I am working with the Constitution there, that document, right, you just read. I'm following it. And I dare to tell you that swearing in Tinubu and Shetima is as good as swearing in the Nigerian army on 29th of May. If you swear in people that have not satisfied the requirement, you have by so doing ended democracy. This our democracy is going to end by the way we are going. This document is a product of the legal system. It has been signed into law by the President, Commander-in-Chief, Federal Republic of Nigeria. I believe in this document. That is why I'm so confident. However extreme it is, Sheung, I am saying it on national TV. Swearing in a ticket that has not met the constitutional requirements, okay, is ending democracy. Quote me on it.
That's your interpretation.
That is my interpretation, and that is indeed a correct interpretation. You cannot swear people who have not met the constitutional requirement. You can't do that. If you did it, you have done something unlawful, something unconstitutional. And I'm repeating it. Whoever does not meet the constitutional requirement must never be sworn in. You said my name. If you like, I can say it again. I'm Dr. Baba Ahmed. I'm repeating. Swear in anybody who does not meet the constitutional requirements of our country. You are engaging in an unconstitutional act. I am taking these risks for the sake of my country. Yes, it is extreme, and I'm saying it. It was more extreme for Yakubu to issue that certificate. It was reckless. He is putting all our lives in danger. We're already at risk. So what is there again in me taking risks again? What have they not done against Nigeria? What have they not abused in Nigeria? Now they'll take the constitution where it is clear, it says get 24, after that and FCT. They fail to get it. They are going to swear this man in, and I should be afraid? I will not be.
How much did they bring in his ears? If even the Kanu should tell you what they are telling him, things that you and I are not seeing, which we know the government can do, just for him to give up in trying to take his people into the land which he believed. Biafra, a war that Ojukwu was not able to conquer. That doesn't mean that they will not conquer. History happens so that we can, you know, when we see it in the future, we can redefine history. So all the lies that they have been telling us and all the ways which they have been following, now our eyes is clear. We know who is who. Now we know who have the truth, and we know who doesn't have the truth. And we all know that Nnamdi have the truth, and that is why today, if you see Nnamdi Kanu, sorry to say this, but I have to say it. If you see Nnamdi Kanu today, God has covered his shame because he's walking in the truth. What about the other people that are opposing him? They are the sponsor of Boko Haram. We've been talking about people are not listening. They are the one who says that this country is not going to have the incredible things which God has given to us. They are the one who are opposing everything that is going to come, that is going to be of a benefit to the generosity of humanity. They are the people that will say no. They amass it for themselves. Look at them. How do you see them, and how do you see Nnamdi Kanu? A man that lives simple life, and that is what leadership is all about. Living a simplicity life. But these people, they embezzle more than enough, and they make us today. We are crying. I didn't think they work. I didn't think they do something very good. We will not be saying Biafra must go. Even the Biafra people have no time to say they will go. But it's because of the messed up. They have messed up the system, and everything that you see, it does that. But as it stands now, is in support of the killing of Christians. You hear me? But in every government, what is a Christian? So you don't want to. Not everybody that go to church are born again. Not everybody that preach the word of God know the word of God. And not everybody that call the name of the Lord that know God. Bible said it to not all that call me Lord, Lord will enter into my kingdom. That is the word of Jesus Christ. So there are so many witches, there are so many occultic people that are pastor preaching, deceiving people. So the woman marrying a pastor, the one that mentioned, call herself a pastor. Are you the one that call her father, call her pastor? So God will do now, God will do now. So it is a business of between him, she, and God, and him and God. So let's put everything on a neutral ground. Currently now, whatsoever he like, let him say. But as for me, Tinubu is killing Christians. Until he wake up and do something for me to see. Until he wake up and do something to convince me. Until he wake up and do something to stop the killing of the Nigerian citizens, especially the Christians.
I understand your emotion because you're a Christian and an evangelist. But then we'll be seeing on a mobile channel, we'll be seeing some kind of level of security now in Kaduna. Since Tinubu came to power, we saw how the Fulani almost ravaged southern Kaduna when President Buhari was there. But then it seems that the Fulani are now coming to Ondo, to Enugu and Benue. So 3 years ago, they only see what happened in Benue. But okay, now what do you think?